Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you for joining us for News from a Catholic Perspective. I'm Wyatt Goolsby, in for Lauren Ashburn. President Donald Trump demands taxes on $100 billion worth of goods coming from China. That's in addition to tariffs on $50 billion in Chinese imports the U.S. has already requested. White House Correspondent Mark Irons reports on the escalating trade dispute between the two countries. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Wyatt. China's government vowed it would, quote, counterattack with great strength if President Trump goes ahead with this plan. A Commerce Ministry spokesman in Beijing says China doesn't want a trade war, but it isn't afraid to fight one. President Trump claims China has been cheating America, and he wants to level the playing field.
We've already lost the trade war. We don't have a trade war. We've lost the trade war. The easiest thing for me to do would be just to close my eyes and forget it. If I did that, I'm not doing my job. So I'm not saying there won't be a little pain, but the market's gone up 40%, 42%, so we might lose a little bit of it. But we're going to have a much stronger country when we're finished.
President Trump's plan to pile even more tariffs on Chinese imports comes a day after Beijing announced plans to tax $50 billion in American products.
Nothing's happened. Nothing's been executed.
The proposal to slap China with tariffs on $100 billion worth of goods isn't official yet, but White House Chief Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow, a Catholic and former TV personality, says any U.S. action is caused by a clear guilty party.
Blame China. Don't blame the administration. Don't blame Japan. Don't blame Europe. Blame China, because they have to put their best foot forward and act like a world power.
Kudlow says this is not a trade war and the U.S. economy is in fine shape. But pro-life advocate and Republican Senator Ben Sasse has been critical of Trump's tariffs. In a statement, he says American agriculture will suffer, adding, "Let's absolutely take on Chinese bad behavior, but with a plan that punishes them instead of us. This is the dumbest way to do this." Today, the White House press secretary says China created this problem and the U.S. is only responding to unfair practices. Compromise remains possible. The U.S. tariffs won't take effect for about another 2 months. China says it is waiting to see what Washington does. Wyatt?
White House Correspondent Mark Irons reporting. Thanks, Mark.